I'm going to use some profanity. We all need to slow the fuck down. Seriously. We all need to slow the fuck down. I don't necessarily mean we need to move slower or do things slower. I mean, well, here's what I mean. This happens especially when life gets very routine. We kind of rush through things. And essential activities like breathing or drinking water are annoying. Like, or going to the bathroom. It's like, really? Come on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Why is this taking so long? And we wanted to sort of like get through it all so we can get to the important stuff. And then when we get to the important stuff, we rush through that too. And we can approach Zen practice in the same way. When are we going to have Kensho? When are we going to have a really exciting, mind-blowing experience that will change things forever? And what I've noticed is a lot of people come to Zen with enthusiasm, lots of enthusiasm. And many of those people stop coming after a little while because they discover something about the real dragon, the real practice. And that is Zen is fucking boring. Life can be kind of boring. Actually, Brad Warner, American Zen teacher, said if you're doing life right, it's probably boring. If you've got stability in your life, it's probably boring. If it's been a while since you've read Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, I suggest you go back to it. It's one of those books that every time I go back to it, something new sort of jumps out to me. And I was reading the section on Zen and excitement. Here's what Suzuki Roshi had to say about Zen and excitement. It is necessary for us to keep the constant way. Okay, so it's necessary for us to keep the constant way. Every morning, at least during weekdays for now, maybe that'll change, so we'll do it on the weekends too, but weekdays, we've got morning zazen. It's part of practicing the constant way. But do you continue to hold on to your practice after morning zazen? That's a question to look into. It's necessary for us to keep the constant way. Zen is not some kind of excitement, but concentration on our usual everyday routine. If you become too busy and too excited, your mind becomes rough and ragged. This is not good. I love Suzuki Roshi in the way he'll say things like, this is not good. Correct, not good. Later on, he says, Buddha said, some things about being a good ox driver. The driver knows how much load the ox can carry, and he keeps the ox from being overloaded. You know your way and your state of mind. Do not carry too much. Buddha also said that building character is like building a dam. You should be very careful in making the bank. If you try to do it all at once, water will leak from it. So make the bank carefully, and you'll end up with a fine dam for the reservoir. Our unexciting way of practice may appear to be very negative. This is not so. It is a wise and effective way to work on ourselves. It's very plain. I find this point very difficult for people, especially young people, to understand. Now, Zen practice is not very exciting. I mean, we have some chants, I guess those are interesting. But Zazen practice is, especially if you're doing it authentically and facing the wall, it's, and especially if you're doing shikantaza, which is just sitting, we don't have any fancy breathing techniques. It's really about being more and more intimate with your normal everyday life. I was actually surprised to learn something about the word secret that I hadn't really appreciated as much. So when the word secret is used in Buddhist teachings, it's not necessarily used in the conventional sort of like it's a secret meaning hidden or obscured, or you need special privileges to access it. Secret, another meaning, and the most prominent meaning in Buddhism, is intimate. So if you want to unlock the secrets of Zen, it's really how intimate are you with your own life and your own experience. There isn't anything hidden. It's just, are we paying attention and are we intimate with the mundane, boring, routine parts of life? Or are we just rushing through that stuff to get to the good stuff? It's funny what happens when you slow down, though. At least in your attitude towards life. If you commute to work and you take the same roads every day, and you're accustomed to driving 40, 50 miles an hour, and you look out the window, everything's a blur. And then there are some days where maybe there's more traffic or there's an accident or something, and you have to slow down. And if you look out the window, you're going to notice things that were there all along, but you haven't really been able to see them because you've been moving so fast. Slow the fuck down. Look, we know what's going to happen at the end. You already know the ending. What's the rush? There's a story about a monk who is walking in a field, and he notices at the edge of the woods a tiger, and then the tiger notices him, and so the monk realizes he has to start running. So he starts running, and tiger's gaining on him, and the monk realizes as he's running that he's coming up to a cliff edge, and he can't turn around, and so he starts to slow down so he doesn't fall over, and he notices there's a a root sort of going over the edge. So he grabs the root and starts to climb down it. And then he looks down, and the root goes to the ground, but there's another tiger at the bottom of the cliff. And then he hears it's like rustling, and there's a rat that's chewing on the root. So hey, imagine that scenario. Like you're hanging from this root, you can't go back up, can't go down, rats chewing on the root. And then right in front of the monk's eyes, he looks, and there's a wild strawberry. And he eats the strawberry, and it was so sweet. If we weren't being chased by metaphorical tigers and stuck on a root that was being chewed by the rat of time, and didn't have another tiger below us waiting to eat us, we would never stop to look and see what's right in front of us, to see what's right here, the only thing we have, the present moment, and what's precious about that. So let's just slow it down a little bit. If you're looking for excitement, man, did you pick the wrong practice.